welcome to another Nufftingz interview. I am interviewing an actual legit OG dude, but the reason why this guy's hilarious and why he's fun, he's a gym meta dude. So we're gonna find out how the gym meta goes and all that shit. So Brandon, Brandon 10. No,
Please don't compare me to that guy.
I know. I'm sorry. All right. So this is Brandon. What's your in-game name?
Gavinci502, better known as the artist known as Gavinci.
All right. So tell me and everybody here what it is about gyms that you like doing, and explain the old-time meta compared to now and all that good stuff.
All right. So the whole sequence that I like about gymming is I'm always finding ways to always challenge myself and be better at whatever I do. And seeing as how I was a man who took martial arts as a youth, I've always wanted to test my strengths and my abilities, right? So even in Pokemon Go battling, even though you're not physically fighting someone, you're still building a team and a roster that's always going up against other people's competitions of no matter what gym faction you're in. Whether it be Mystic, Valor, or Instinct, we're always raising and building Pokemon that can hold its own against their rivals' battles. To take down, the purpose of the gym is to take it down and try to declare your victory and cement your spot with your faction. And what I love about the whole battle sequence is I'm always raising and building my Pokemon to test their limitations against other people's Pokemon. Whether it be person versus person, which is PvP, or in gymming sequence, I like to always test my favorite mons that I like to battle with against other people's, put my Hundles against other people's Hundles to see whose Hundles could last the longest. But back in the days when the game first came out, the battle sequence was a little bit more tougher, but it was a lot more intense. And this is why I say that is, back in the days, they used to do this thing where it used to be harder to get into X-rated gyms, not like how they made it local now. Back in the days gymming was so intense where you'd have to either score either a silver or a gold badge, and you also have to accumulate enough points while you're gymming to be able to get a special invitation to that raid. And the first Pokemon that they allowed an X-raid in was Mewtwo. You could not get into the X-raid gym without the special invitation, but whoever did get the ticket, they're allowed to gift the ticket to another fellow person so that they could participate. But if you don't have anyone to send it to you, you're salt, beef, and rice, because you don't have enough accumulated points to get it, which means people who are bitch-ass spoofers and cheaters that like to shave gyms, that ain't scoring you points. So if you don't do it legitimate, you don't get shit, you don't get to participate, bye-bye, you get no Mewtwo. But now, because certain people know that it's kid-friendly, and we all know little youths play this game, the sequence back then was a bit tougher for more youths going down, so they watered it down and they nerfed it so they made it playable for other people. So that's why now it's still competitive, but the gymming now is like kind of sequence has died down because they feel you can do whatever you want, beat up some mons, get your mons in, get your 50 coins in, etc., and you still have a good day. But there will come a point in time, I'm pretty sure, when they raise the trainer level to 60, and when they do, they might very well incorporate how it was back in the days and bring it back to how it is now back then. So they might incorporate the whole, how should I say, X-raid pass thing where you still need to accumulate points on a silver or gold badge on an X-raid gym to get the invitation. So pretty much the more silvers and gold you have, the better chances you are in becoming a part of an X-raid. Now with the PvP sequence, we have different class ranges: Master League, Ultra League, and Great. And what we do is try to build Pokemon in every single weight class so you're able to hold your own against any opponents that you might be in person versus person. My preference is mostly Master. I can play in all three leagues because I'm triple platinum in every league, and that's all from practicing, building my mons, and just getting better at and owning my craft as a battler. I've won a lot. I've learned a lot more from losses than you do from a win, because you learn what not to do in the next match and the next sequence, right? So in this game, I'm still always trying to evolve and find ways to better myself and raise my Pokemon. And also, to the bonus to this battle sequences, I've met a lot of cool people along the way. I've met a lot of interesting friends, like my interesting friend Rob over here. He's quite a character. He's good looking. Not a bad looking dude. You know what I'm saying? And he's full of energy and full of love. He has beautiful kids that also play this game. And it's a great way to bring the community together, get people more sociable, more out the house, you know, and just be able to interact. Because the interaction and the people you meet along the way is what makes the game so fun. And it makes it more interesting, especially when we do raids together. It just brings everyone together and bring the whole family vibe. It's always good vibes and good energy. Yes, it can be competitive and it makes people turn stupid and a little narcissistic and delusional to a certain extent, but we're not really focusing on that much. That's the more negative side to the game. We're more focusing on the positive. The positivity is bringing out the community together, everyone sharing the love, sharing the warmth, you know, and everyone getting stronger together. Because it's about getting stronger from both sides of the fence, not only looking on one side. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it from the whole battling thing. And I'm always finding ways again just to evolve my Pokemon, build a solid roster that looks like the Boston Celtics, not like the Knicks that never won a championship in 30 years and still sucks to this day. We're trying to be better than that. We want to keep our team like Boston Celtics or like Lakers, you know, solid, strong. And the best way to build a good box set is you want to have a Pokemon of every single type, of every single kind, and have it be the ones that you like to use the most. Because when you build your army around that, everything comes around gradually. Nobody ever starts off strong right off the bat. Everybody works hard at owning their craft and their skill. We start and work our team from the ground up until you get something that you really got to, until you got something good to work with. My advice as a man who went through the journey and has scored level 50 the right way, not the fake way like Brandon Tannen and Fleece King, fuck those fake folks. I actually worked on building my box sets gradually and not just focusing on my trainer level, because you want everything to be on an equal level playing field. You don't want to be level 50 with an uneven box set. You want to be level 50 with an equal box set to your trainer skill, which makes it easier for you to battle and to secure victories. Everything has to be on an equal level playing field. The key to victory in this game is all about versatility. The more versatile your Pokemon box set is, the more dangerous of an opponent you become. And also, too, it's about the movesets that you give it. Because everybody trains their Pokemon different. Every trainer or every opponent fights differently with a different moveset. So you have to get experimental, play around with your Pokemon, and find a moveset that's suitable to your liking. And that you feel that you're comfortable with, that you know that can secure your victories or whatever matches that you do, both in PvP and in person. And that's pretty much it.
Damn. Did you breathe?
Yes, Rob. I took a breath. I paused in between.
So,
boy, I need a glass of water. I'm feeling kind of parched.
I can tell.
But
damn.
I love this game. I've been playing Pokemon since I was at the age of 12. I've played all the Nintendo ones from the Game Boy Advance, 3DS. It's to the point where I even got my young nephews and nieces. Now they're into the game. So now I'm just giving back, you know, training up the youths. And now as a person who is a well-known in the community and as one of the pioneers and forefronts as the level 50 that came before me or those who reached level 50, I'm just now giving back and helping those who are up and coming to become better at the game. And I'm still finding ways to get better myself, because in this game, you never ever go down, you always go up. If you play with the right people and you raid with the right people, you're going to become stronger no matter what you do. You know, everybody starts from somewhere in this game. No one ever starts strong right off the bat. We all work on our box set together to become stronger. With every fight and every opponent, you get stronger and stronger with each match. Even if you lose, you still become a stronger and a better person. You know, and there's a lot of top Valor players out here, like my boy Andrade, Armando, Jamie, my friend Alex, and his wife Nessa. Those are all top tier Valors who I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for. Even my boy Conrad over there, he be styling in profile with a little beard, looking like Bray Wyatt back here. But you know what? He's still owning his craft. He's soon to be level 50, and even my friend here has come a long way. I've seen the grind. I've seen the struggle. I've seen what everybody has gone through to accumulate what they have. So when you work hard like that, it's really pointless and stupid to show like any form of jealousy, because we all work at our own different pace. But to become stronger, it's all about consistency. It's about the consistency and the time you invest in. Whatever you put in is what you get out. If you put in 100% work and A+ work ethics into the game, you are going to see mad results. I bullshit you not. I might be the baby in the Hundo group amongst the top tier players, that's only sitting on 183 hundles, but I have the hundles that matter. I have the hundles that are like top tier, that are like in Master League and Ultra League that a lot of people use and that are still using to this day. So with that being said, I feel like I've gained a lot of success in that area. And even with that success, I'm still working and owning my craft. Still haven't hit the legend rank yet, but that's still a goal that I'm willing to work towards. As we all have goals that we're willing to work towards to become better trainers in this game. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the whole Pokemon Go sequence. And now I'll turn everything back to my boy, Brother Rob.
So that was a lot. Thank you. So tell me, what do you think of today, actually? Today was actually Mega Lucario. And man, it was a real intense day. Like, it wasn't as much as we usually have, but there was a lot of people.
Of course.
And what did you get any hundos today?
Actually, you know what? Today was a good turnout for Mega Lucario for its debut. I've always been a Lucario fan, seeing as how I did martial arts as a kid back when I was 12. Lucario is a top tier, good striking Pokemon. Yes, he is weak to his own style, but he has a lot of movesets that give him a lot of versatility and a lot of ground coverage. And he covers a lot of ground in his moves, being a steel and fighting Pokemon, right? And the fact that he has a Mega Evolution that looks mighty cool, that really attracted a lot of people to this event, right? And the fact that it's his debut, I find it very interesting. I found it was a great turnout. A lot of good people showed up. I didn't walk away with a hundo, but I have 2 lucky 98s, and I have enough energy to power them up, and I have the 98s that matter. 15-15 attack. Because Lucario is a striker and he's a fighting Pokemon, you always most likely want to have a lot of defense and attack more than health. Because the defense, as a steel type that kind of goes down, that's weak to both fighting, ground, and fire, he has to be able to have some sort of durability. Because durability is very important in battle. It's about how much hits you can take, not how much you can dish out. So that's why having the balance between attack and defense is very important. Health does matter, but you have to be able to hold your own and not just get knocked out in a matter of seconds. So when you have the good balance for Lucario, he can be very formidable. He's great in PvP and he's very good in gymming, especially around getting around Metagross. If you give him Shadow Ball, he one-shots it pretty much. So that also makes Lucario very versatile. And like I said from before, versatility is very important in Pokemon Go because it's all about the good mons and the right movesets that you give it. And that's why I find it very fun and very nice to get experimental. Never be afraid to experiment with your Pokemon. If a moveset doesn't work out, try the next moveset and see what happens. You might get lucky, you might not get so lucky. But it's the experimental part of the game and the challenge behind the game is what makes it fun. And it'll never run out of style. It'll never get boring. As long as you keep getting better IV Mons, you want to keep putting them to the test against your fellow rival battlers, and no matter what faction you're in, whether it be Mystic, Valor, or Instinct, you always want to test your Mon's ability and push it to its limits.
You know, you're not wrong because even with Lucario, I've been playing for, man, a year and 6 months, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I've been using Lucario and I have him with Power Up Punch.
Okay.
And I've been using him for like just Team Rocket, and he's been running through a lot. Now, I got me a hundo. Hey.
Congratulations.
So I finally got a hundo.
Salutations.
And man, a lot of people got shundos. I think 2 people today out here got 2. One got a shundo earlier in the day, and another dude got a shundo. And it's like they were so happy because, you know, he's a wicked looking Pokemon and he's strong as hell.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, good typing, good strength, and you can use him for a lot of stuff.
Yes,
so,
you can.
You know,
lots of versatility.
So it's like I am going to have fun using him in, you know, raids and more, you know, knocking out Team Rocket and stuff too.
Yes.
So I see what you're saying. So tell me now. So what do you think Niantic needs to do now to make this game more fun? Like, there's so many things that we say wrong about it, but we still play. But what is it that you feel could be done now to make, you know, people that stop playing come back, people that want to play and actually come in? Like, what do you think should change with, like, maybe not, you know, gym battles or any of that, but like, what could they bring into the game? Like, even if they brought like Gigantamax, because one of the things too, a lot of people are saying now is that they're playing it, but they're so bored. Like every event is boring, and it's like, oh my god, this is so boring. And then people aren't really involved in GoFest as much because it's the same. I like GoFest because I've only done like 2 or 3.
I've already done 2 GoFests, and I had a really good time, and I caught a hundo out of one of them. I caught a hundo Rayquaza. It's funny, the same hundo Rayquaza that got away from me 4 years ago, I ended up catching the same hundo Rayquaza that got away on a critical catch at last year's GoFest. What a great way to get some redemption from the loss of that Rayquaza. So it's like, you know, I got my retribution for that, which is pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. So you said you're not big on the hundos because you don't have that many. How much do you have now?
Right now, I am sitting on exactly 183 hundos and 507 shinies.
Damn. So, what's your killer?
My killer and my go-to right now, I use a various amount of Pokemons, both in PvP and battling for gyms. My go-to right now, I use my Hundo Venusaur. I've been using my Annihilate a lot because he's like my lesser fighter, but I'm trying to get his win racks up in both in gymming. So I've been using him. I've been using Garchomp, some Rhyperior, Metagross, and at one point in time, I was using my Avalarg a lot, but I kind of put him away for a while, because I've noticed that with certain Pokemon that I'm trying to get to level 50, I realize that I understand that eventually they're going to do special days where they're going to put Mons back into raids. Like, for example, everyone loves Rhyperior, and Rhyperior is a very nice rock-type Pokemon that's really strong. I know eventually they're going to bring back Rhydons into raids. So I don't have to really walk the Rhyperior as much to get XLs. I'll just wait for the Rhydons to come back in raids and do a lot of Rhydon raids to grind the XL candies till I max it out level 50. So that also helps. Garchomp too. There'll be another Mega Garchomp that will come back around because they always cycle the Mega Evolution Pokemon that come around. Last time we had Venusaur, now we have another Mega. We had the Mega Lucario for today. They always cycle them. So even if you miss it one time, you'll catch it on the next cycle around where you can grind the XLs and you can try to get the XL candies to power up all your good mons that you may have, right? So that's always good. The one thing I feel like Niantic should do more that I would kind of like get more people to be intrigued to want to play is have more better calm days and cycle through the calm days. I know they say we have to wait a while before we get certain calm days, but they shouldn't try to make us wait too long. Like, we have to wait a while for Garchomp or Haxorus or Salamence. I think they should try to, you know, switch it up and be a little bit way more consistent. And when they're revealing more Pokemon, you know, kind of like be a little bit fair when it comes to like putting out more like newer mons from the Unova or even other regions, and also have us get a chance to have regionals. I know we can't get certain Pokemon from other sides of the world, so if they sometimes cycle them, that also gives us a chance. For example, Howlucha you can only get in Mexico, but if they should have an event that we can get us Howlucha here, or a Signalith or any other regional from another country, have an event where we can get a chance to get it. So, and then they have a mon that we have that they put on the other side of the world that they couldn't get. So it kind of evens it out.
And you see how I'm a rookie. I've only played for a year and like 10 months, whatever. I have never seen Howlucha yet. No. I actually forgot he existed.
Yeah, like, Howlucha is a great fighting, flying Pokemon, but unfortunately at the time, you can only get him in parts like Mexico or certain parts that where it's like really hot, close by the equator. But I think, to be fair to us people who actually like Howlucha, who are familiar with the Pokemon, for us to get a chance to catch him, at least have like a one event where you can have regionals. And they put all the regionals out there in raids, so that gives everybody a turn. So they can, because everybody's trying to 100% the deck, but you can't 100% it without the regionals, or have somebody probably go on a trip somewhere, but no one's going to travel for a Pokemon. But if they had a set one event that can give everyone a chance to catch it, well, that kind of evens out everything, and that's being mindful and very much considered to all casual players of this game.
You were talking about Garchomp earlier.
Yes.
Were you here when they had the Gibble that was a hundo, and everyone was peeling
Yes,
out
I
at
was
the Lane
there.
Arts Center.
I actually scored my third hundo gibble that day, and I'm actually working on my gibble right now. And like I said, every time you battle with your Pokemon, you're seeing progression and strength and growth. I've only been walking my hundo gibble that everybody screamed for and ran for, and he's already sitting at 804 wins in under 2 weeks.
Damn.
Almost hitting on a rack. Because how I battle when it comes to the whole battling sequence, the Pokemon always reflects the trainer. And we don't want to sound like a bitch like Sierra who cries every time she loses and blame it on the Pokemon. No. The Pokemon is only as strong as the trainer. If the Pokemon's weak, it's because the trainer is weak. Right. So, and also too, when your rivals from another gym is battling your Pokemon, you want to see your Pokemon reflect that it's put in some work. For example, if my boy Conrad was to battle my Hundo Garchomp that I have maxed out at level 50, that motherfucker's going to see 15,000 gym wins by itself.
Damn.
That's more wins than what my boy cousin Chris has as a trainer combined.
What do you say, Conrad?
So you want the Pokemon, the Pokemon to reflect how much work it's put in, and it shows how much work the trainer has put in. So you know if it's sitting on 15,000 gym wins, that motherfucking mon's gonna give my boy a run for his money. And if he wins, that means, dang, he put in work, he earned the victory, but it was a battle worthwhile. And he learned a lot from it, because my boy Conrad has battled a lot of my mons in the past, and he can speak for himself. Like, I don't have to speak for him. He'll tell you that my Rhine Fears and my Metagos has gave him, and my Snorlaxes has given him a run for his money, as his mon has given me a run for mine. I know exactly what he's working on and what he's dealing with. And my boy, for etc., from battling me in PvP, unbattling my mons in gyms, he knows that Gavinci502 is a force to be reckoned with.
Damn. Well, I ain't gonna lie, because, bro, like, a lot of times when people get hundos or shinies, they go to you and they say, yo, Brandon, what do you think of this? And they're like, yo, that's all good. You know, and they look at you for, you know, your approval, really. Mm-hmm. I think you suck. No,
that's good. Likewise, but anyways.
Wow. See, I'm trash.
But you know what? As a man who's very humbled and who has grinded the journey as every other person who has tried to get to is trying to get to level 50, the whole level 50 sequence is not as hard as what people make it out to be. It really comes down to how you as a trainer raise and train your Pokemon and the team that you build. Because if you build your team like a basketball team, right, everybody has a position to play. It's like how everyone's Pokemon has a position to play in the game. And if you build your box set to become equivalent, for example, having your regular Pokemon almost as strong as your legendaries, that makes you more versatile. The more versatile you are as a trainer, the more dangerous you become, because you don't know what to expect. Your opponents do not know what you're going to bring to the table, because everybody shows their cards beforehand. Does a magician show his greatest trick beforehand? No, you feel like you're taken. And that's the whole point. You want your opponents to make them feel like they're taken until you show them their strength, and then they're wowed. You see, a lot of people, some people that like me, some people who don't like me. The ones who don't like me, they don't like me because they have no idea what I have to come bring to the table. And they're like down, they think, oh, Brandon's this and that. But when I show them what I'm working with, I might not have a Brandon 10 or Fleece King box set, but I have a box set that can annihilate and assassinate anything that they have, because I know exactly how I've trained my Pokemon and what I've raised them to be. I can handle anything that is out there. It's not me speaking with cockiness. I'm speaking with confidence with a man who's sitting on more than 100,000 gym wins and counting.
Damn. So what we're gonna have to do, and we're gonna have to interview you again, because boy, you really covered a lot. But we're gonna have to interview you on that whole Brandon 10 and Fleece King thing, because
I want to touch base. I want to touch base. See, the thing is with these guys, I don't hate anybody because I have no hatred in my heart towards any man. I don't hate you, but I have a dislike for how you are and how you operate. Because even though, yes, those guys are top tier players in the game, why I don't respect them, and it's hard for me to respect them, is I can't respect someone who works so hard and sells their stuff to people who never earned anything, when there's people out here in both Mississauga, Toronto, and Brampton that fucking works their ass off to get what they have. I think it's a slap and a spit in the face to every hard-working, decent player out here that is bust their ass and just to give away their shit like that. It's pathetic and sickening to me. But it is to each his own. Everyone plays however they want to play. But as a man who is grown right and been raised right by a single mother, I realize that if you do not have integrity or dignity behind what you do, your work ethics mean absolutely nothing. You have to be able to be real enough to understand that, everything that I work hard, that I bust my ass for, I put love, heart, passion, and desire into what I do. Whether it's Pokemon Go or the job that you work for a living to earn your money, if you do not have respect, credibility, or integrity behind what you do, it means absolutely nothing. But when you put pride and respect and integrity and dignity behind what you do, that means a lot more than money. That is something worthwhile and worth preserving. And if more people thought like that, we'd have less spoofers and cheaters out here and more solid players that are known as real 50s and not fake 50s. Like my boy Conrad, who's soon about to be a level 50 and a Mount Rushmore player, like myself and others who have paved the way for this community in a great way. I think that sums up mostly everything.
That does. Well, we're going to have to get you another time. Thank you for the interview. And good luck with your gyms, because boy, we see you gym battling sometimes, and it's like, damn, bro, jeez, like, what are you doing?
Well, it's all about the challenge. If you don't challenge yourself in life in anything you do, it's like, what's the point? And it becomes very boring, But as long as we keep challenging ourselves as trainers and working on our craft and working on our Pokemon, building up a solid roster, building up a good foundation team that is your favorite, that you like to use, at the end of the day, it's a win-win.